This is AW360 Live at Advertising Week, New York. I have with me Bridget Davies, who is the Vice President of Advertising from eBay. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. It's so good to be here.
It's very good to see you. So, you've been busy with us already. So you had a session yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You've got another session coming up today at 1:30, which is moving from device-centric targeting to people-based messaging.
That's right.
Which is really interesting, I think. So we're seeing a shift so much from looking at the technology that is just targeting one device to a broader message.
Yeah, I mean, the way I think about it with the advances in technology, it's now possible for brands to have conversations with people across devices. And right, our lives are digital and span across so many different screens that if you capitalize on that, it can be incredibly powerful. So
what are some of the opportunities for brands that they have now with this new technology?
I mean, look, I think there's a couple of things happening that are pretty profound in the space. I think first and foremost, from a digital perspective, there's such a movement of consumers to leverage marketplaces. Marketplaces like eBay are such an amazing place for brands to reach consumers at scale, to reach them globally. And really, like eBay, we've got massive amounts of data that we can share back with brands to help them better communicate, better target, learn new insights about their consumers that they may not have had in the past. When you pair that with some of the changes in technology around AI and machine learning, it's pretty exponential, the granularity and the personalization that you can accomplish.
So is this making the barrier to entry much easier for them?
Absolutely.
I came from a background, part of my time was spent in the agency world, and then I moved into the brand world working for a manufacturer. And it was a company where we built our e-commerce platforms from the ground up.
Yeah.
And this was, getting close to 20 years ago now.
Major feat, right?
Yeah, and now to think that you've got all these wonderful brands that are out there and they can just join a marketplace like eBay and start going.
I mean, and then the brand can really focus on creating a product that a consumer is going to love and turn to a marketplace as a point of sale and a way to reach those consumers to sell the product.
Absolutely. We've got all these other really incredible technologies that we're starting to see as well, the AI, the VR and augmented reality as well.
Yeah.
How do you see that playing into it?
It's funny. I feel really privileged to live when I live. Right? I feel like the change that I've seen in my lifetime is insane. And yet when I think about the precipice of what we're on, I feel like it's going to be exponentially bigger change in our lifetimes. I think from an AI, machine learning perspective, right, that ability or the computing power that goes with that, we're able to actually leverage amazingly granular data to personalize in ways we haven't been able to personalize before. eBay just rolled out a visual search, find it on eBay. So imagine I like your sports coat, take a picture of it, and immediately find products that look like that on eBay. It's pretty profound. Like it's going to completely blur the line between offline and online. From an IoT perspective, there are already 20 billion connected devices in the world. That's projected to grow to 50 billion devices. And it really means that our lifestyles are completely changing. And the access we have to digital and information and ways to communicate are exponentially growing. And so I think lots of ways that that's going to change our lifestyles and change the way that brands can interact with consumers. And then lastly, from a VR, AR perspective, I think the opportunity to have immersive experiences wherever you are is pretty profound. So imagine being able to try on an outfit or see what this super cool chair is going to look like in my living room without having to leave the house.
So I do some artwork.
Yeah.
And this website that I actually use to sell the artwork, one of the things that I love about it is that somebody can hold their phone up in their living room and see what my painting or somebody else's painting is going to look. It's amazing.
It's so cool.
It is cool. So when you're talking about the Internet of Things and connecting it to marketplaces, I was really impressed a few years ago, and I haven't looked into this in a while, but there was a product that I heard about that they were bringing out in beta, this technology company, and it was a tray that sits in your refrigerator that you put your beer on.
Yeah.
So not only does it make sure that the refrigerator is the perfect temperature, as you start to get to a certain point, it says, oh, you're getting low, so it's going to connect to the marketplace and automatically order it for you. Again, obviously only in places where that can be delivered like that, but...
I love that story, and it's like the perfect advertising, knows what you don't know you need, right? And sort of is able to play that role. I mean, that, by the way, that transforms advertising, right? Where it's now a service. It's something that is helping your life.
Yeah.
Make sure you have beer.
Well, there's the important things in life.
That's right.
To make sure we're
That's
taken
right.
care of. Yeah, and I'm actually looking forward to the day that my refrigerator does all that for me without even having to tell it to do anything else.
Exactly.
So is there anything else that you're looking forward to coming up?
Well, I think there's the parts of this new technology that I can anticipate what it's going to look like, and I'm already fired up about that. And then there's all the things that we haven't even imagined yet.
So let's
right?
talk about some predictions. What do you predict is going to come?
Well, I think that there's going to be pretty profound changes in what offline and online retail looks like. I actually think that both are critically important. I think we've got to stop thinking of them as two separate channels. We need to start thinking about how can they complement and feed off of each other.
There's so much competition between the two.
That's right, historic, and I think that that's changing, but I think organizations are struggling to figure out exactly how to do that. And I think that there's still a role for physical retail, and I think that's much more about showcasing and interacting and sort of the feel of the brand.
Right.
And online plays such a critical role for convenience, right? And that being able to, when I get home from work, figure out if that's the right chair for me without having to stop at the store, right?
That's true.
So I think the more that the two channels can feed off of each other, I think there's going to just be even more changes than I can anticipate. But I think that's going to be exciting to watch and be a part of.
Well, I'm excited about this. Bridget, thank you so much for joining us here on AW360. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more AW360 live from Advertising Week in New York.